What is up guys, it's your boy Swollam here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. At this point, we're only about 1 week until the actual launch of the season itself, and I wanted to cover a topic that I haven't really been talking about before, and that is my current concerns with Season of Discovery. I'm gonna start this video off by saying that I'm overall very positive towards the season itself. I think it's looking like it's gonna be a lot of fun, but there's one thing that I want to address, and that is like, at the moment I only really have one big concern, and that is the lack or the losing of class identity. I don't really want to talk about class fantasy or like the roles and stuff, but because every ability we're getting is kind of still in the class fantasy part of things, but we're losing the class identity, if that makes sense. I'm trying to put like a split here or a divide between class fantasy and class identity, because class fantasy is like a warlock being a warlock, but class identity, especially the way it worked in Classic WoW, is like you had mages, they're really good for AoE, you had warriors, they're pumper DPSers and they're really good tanks, then you had paladins, really good healers and otherwise just a meme, and things like that. Rogues being there for stuns, right? The fact that every single class had something unique to that class that made them like kind of separate themselves between other classes. You had the druids being jacks of all trades but master of none, and so on. Season of Discovery brings a lot of brand new runes, many of them builds on the current strengths of classes in Classic WoW, but some of them might be taking it a little bit too far. And just to talk about some examples there to like show you what I mean, like first of all we're losing the faction identity as well. This one might be good, it might be bad, depends on who you are, how you look at things. But basically Alliance are now getting access to Wind Fury through a druid rune, which is called Wild Strikes, and Horde is also getting access to Alliance Blessings of Kings from Paladins, which is now a Hunter rune. As you can see right here, we have the Hunter aspect of the Lion rune, and this one basically functions as the Blessing of Kings. So that is, first of all, we're losing the faction identity with the split between factions, where the fact that Shamans had Wind Fury, and that was exclusive to Horde, gave them a lot more damage output, but Alliance having access to Blessings of Salvation, Kings and stuff like that, it gave them more survival. Now everything is more streamlined, everyone is supposed to have access to everything, and I feel like we've gone down this path before, and we know where that leads. When you give every single class the ability to interrupt, to stun, to silence, to AoE, to single target, to tank, when you give every single class the ability to do everything, we've already gone down that path. It's called retail. We had that in retail ever since like Warlords of Draenor or Mist of Pandaria or something like that. Every single class can do pretty much everything, and the only differences are the buttons you're pressing and the visual effects they have. Otherwise, every class can stun, every class can AoE, every class can single target, most classes can tank or heal, and most of them can do pretty much everything in the game. You can slow things down through single target stuns, AoE stuns and things like that. And that seems like it's happening in Season of Discovery as well, but even more. Like a bunch of classes you never thought could do things can now suddenly do things. For example, mage healers. Who asked for this? I don't really think anyone asked for this in Season of Discovery. I'm not really opposed to it, but it's a concern of mine that the mage class was never really supposed to be healing, and now we are. It's just weird. They're breaking the class identity of a mage from being like the absolute pumper DPS, the big boy AoE DPS, and in some cases even single target DPS, and now suddenly we're healers as well, through these 3 runes by the way, which can actually you can be a only healer. You don't even have to do DPS, you're just like, you're a healer mage, which is super weird if you ask me, but I'm gonna play it. It looks really fun, but it's a concern of mine long term that they're breaking every single class in that way and taking away the identity that we had in Classic WoW, which I think is a major reason why people loved playing Classic WoW as well, having that class identity. You're playing a class because of what they bring to the table. You also have Paladins getting access to Taunt, for example. This one isn't really bad in any case, it's just the fact that you had different tanks for different scenarios. Paladins being really good for AoE leveling or AoE farming, AoE taunting, or AoE tanking, I mean. Through having Righteous Fury and Consecration, you can really hold AoE threat really well, but you never had a taunt. So there was like a positive aspect and a negative aspect of having a Paladin, and now they have taunt. So once again, just like bringing everything to every single class. Beacon of Light for Holy Paladins, Crusader Strike, those 2 are just good, but yeah. You also have the fact that rogues can tank. This kind of goes with the healer mage, like who asked for this and where is it in the class fantasy and class identity, but yeah, rogues can tank. There's a lot of brand new runes, these three in particular, directly giving you the ability to tank. You're getting parry, you're getting reduced damage taken, reduced critical strike chance taken, and also giving you a taunt, like one of these, the Just a Flesh Wound, makes it so your feint is now called Tease and taunts the targets to attack you. Like, subjectively, my thought is that they may have added a little bit too much and gone like a little bit too far on all the class runes they're giving out, and once again giving every single class the ability to have insane AoE DPS and have insane cooldowns to pop, even at level 25. Like, we're not even level 60 yet, and we have all these runes making us so overpowered at level 25. I can't, like, imagine level 40, we're going to be so overpowered and they're still going to keep giving us new things. So if you're lacking a stun, for example, at level 25, I can almost bet you by level 40, which is phase 2, you're gonna have a stun. So the closer we get to last phase, the more like, what is it called when you basically make every single class the same class, giving everyone access to everything, which is what they've done in retail. And by the end of Season of Discovery, I'm betting they're doing that here as well, because they've already started it. And not only are they doing that, but they're also giving us access to brand new things, mage healers, rogue tanks, shaman tanks. But that one is kind of cool though, because shamans always had talent points, giving them block chance and stuff. So shamans were always supposed to be able to tank, so making that now, that makes sense. But mage healers, where is that in the lore or in the story, and where's that in the class identity? I don't really know. Rogue tanks might make a little bit of a sense. You also have the fact that warlocks can tank, which also might make a little bit of sense. But yeah, subjectively speaking, I think they might have gone a little bit too far, but also just objectively speaking, when I'm asking people, or when I'm checking Reddit or my YouTube comments, the main reason why people are not playing this season is the fact that they've gone too far. They've added a bunch of stuff that people haven't asked for. People basically wanted Turtle WoW, and we managed to get like some sort of mix between Chromie WoW and Ascension in like their old versions. So we're getting the beta version of Chromiecraft, and we're getting the beta version of Ascension instead of Turtle WoW, which I guess is like what everyone was asking for. And if you compare these runes to Turtle WoW has a fraction of these changes, and it's still running really well. People love Turtle WoW, and they have like just enough changes to spice things up, but not too much to like make you not want to play. But Season of Discovery is like, either you love it or you hate it, and it seems like there's no in between. I am personally like, I'm going towards the fact that I'm loving it so far, but I'm also having major concerns, and the class identity, once again, is one of them. One more concern I'll leave real quick towards the end of this video is the fact that they're adding a bunch of new stuff for level 25, and I'm thinking when phase 2 drops, I'm guessing all of that is going to be invalidated, because we're not going to be doing BFD when phase 2 drops. Even if you're a brand new brand new player in Season of Discovery, if you're joining in phase 2, I don't think a lot of people are doing BFD, even though I think Blizzard said that it's a level up raid, and the way they're looking at it is that when you reach level 25, even in phase 2, you can go and do BFD and get some loot, then continue leveling. But gamers today are not going to do that. You're gonna get to level 25 and keep questing to level 26. The same thing is in TBC, you could have gone and done Naxxramas at level 60, get Nax gear, then go to Outland. Tell me if anyone did that. If you started playing in TBC, did you do any raids at level 60 to gear yourself up to go to Outlands? Or did you just go to Outlands? The way gamers work today, like, you're not gonna stop at level 25 and do BFD for loot. You're gonna keep leveling to level 26, 27, and eventually level 40, and do the level 40 raid instead. So yeah, a couple of concerns right there about the season. We'll see how it unfolds. I'm hyped either way. Let me know if you have any other concerns, or if you like agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. That's pretty much what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you again very soon.